Yo, what up, y'all? This is Pause and Rewind here, Secrets of Havik. Listen, man, I just want to comment on the whole REN and KUJO situation. I've been seeing y'all comments on some of my latest REN reactions saying, hey, if you don't know about the REN and KUJO situation, this is what's going on. REN released a video explaining everything and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I am aware. I had already seen it. In fact, I even commented on REN's community post before I was ever even tagged by anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I was already there. I was already hip. I was already aware. Also, don't forget, I live in this space, right? I've been in this industry for 20 plus years now. And what REN is going through currently, unfortunately, is nothing new in this business. I've dealt with this same thing before and still deal with it even today. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk about a little bit of that and kind of, some other things as well, just to explain some things that people might be a little bit confused on. And it's really just from my experience and my perspective. But first off, after knowing everything and going through everything and understanding everything, first, let me just say that I side with REN on this, okay? I'm rocking with REN on this. I think he's more than reasonable on the whole situation. So that's just number one. But number two, I'm supporting the homie, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna show up for the KUJO beatdown video and whatever, man. We ride at dawn around here, okay? I will be showing up for REN on that. He ain't even have to ask. Y'all know Pauze and Rewind was gonna be there anyway. All right. But another reason that I'm supporting REN is 99.9% of the video reactions on my channel are all copyrighted. Okay? Pretty much all of them are copyrighted. The only artist out of everyone that I have reacted to, the only artist that has allowed me to not be copyrighted in full is REN. He's the only one. Okay? Early on, I was getting copyrighted, and actually I still do, but, renegades came through in the comments, putting me with who and so, who. This is when I was first being exposed to REN and letting me know what I needed to do, the steps to dispute any claims if they did pop up, and I've been doing that, and they released the claims, okay? So REN is the only artist on this channel that has allowed me basically full go. No copyright whatsoever, no sharing copyright, none of that. He's the only artist, all right? The other artists, which helped me start this channel, that I've gotten copyrighted on some, but the majority of the songs I didn't get copyrighted was Harry Mack, okay? That's why we rock with Harry around here, you know what I mean? And believe it or not, big artists, I have also had a no copyright on for some songs. More than one, which is surprising to me. And who was that? Taylor Swift. That's a huge artist. But guess what? Taylor Swift is also going through similar situations where her entire catalog was sold from under her. Her own songs, things that she made hits, were sold without her knowledge, without her permission. So here she is, like, not owning her own stuff anymore, right? And it becomes that whole game of artist, producer, this and that. It's at every level of this business, whether it's the underground or the major mainstream. And that's why I bring some of those things up, because it's the same story no matter what. Okay. Listen, even forget all of my videos being copyrighted. So I don't make anything on anything. The end of my videos, for those of y'all that stick to the end, I have a clip in there of one of my songs from a music video with me and my group Havik. Okay, it's a song called "Wake 'Em Up," which I wrote. Okay, I directed that music video. edited that music video right here on this very computer. Okay? Wrote the song and recorded it. I get copyrighted even on that clip. On my own video, I get copyrighted even on that little clip at the end of my own song. This is the business, man. These people are out here doing this type of stuff, and it happens, Now, the situation for even these clothes right here, y'all see me in every video reaction. I rock things that I have created. I made this. I design everything that I wear. Now, because I come up with so many new things as far as clothing, sometimes people will see it's popular, see it's nice, or they'll file a trademark on it before I do, and then bar me from selling my own stuff. Now, well, why didn't I just do it? Well, because it's expensive to just do it for every little thing that I make. So, sometimes I do it on the heavy hitters. Like, okay, yeah, people like this one. Let me go ahead and buy. But there are people who watch, and they bar me from then selling my own stuff, and now I can't sell it anymore. It's crazy. Now, this whole situation with the REN and KUJO thing, I'm going to just say it's all about the contract. It's all about the contract, yo. Whatever's in the contract, that's the stipulation. So I don't know the full terms of REN's contract for that beat, but I am going to share with you some of my contracts that I have for some beats that I have, and see what's in there, and kind of what the standard terms and stuff are. Now, let me just say KUJO is wrong off the rip. Why? Because he sold a beat without clearing a sample. I really dislike these type of producers. If you are going to use a sample, which I hate samples for this very reason, I don't like samples. People always use them, and sometimes you can't tell that they used the sample. You think it's their own beat. You think they're being 100% creative from the ground up, and they're not. They're taking it from other places and putting it in the song, and you don't know. You use some crap from like Bulgaria in this case. I think it's a Bulgarian choir. Why the hell would I know that that's a sample? I wouldn't know that. You know what I mean? So as a producer, you need to clear that, because here's the legality of that part. You used the sample, didn't clear it, and then you sold it. REN purchased it. So now you've sold it using somebody else's content without their permission. That's already a no-go. So if you want to put in your contract that it's on the artist to clear the sample, fine, you're allowed to do that. It's in my contract that the artist, matter of fact, I'll pull it up right now. So here's a shot of an excerpt from one of my contracts for a beat, right? It says this license is the term of an indefinite time from the date of this agreement, blah, 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 blah. Then it defines, 200 streams of a track via a subscription service should count as one sale. So that's how they count sales. If it's only being streamed, they still have it defined. This was an unlimited beat, just like what REN purchased. So this is typically what unlimited means. Unlimited free downloads for nonprofit, non-commercial use, unlimited for-profit public performances, nonprofit public performances, and unlimited music videos, so on and so forth. Once any of the limits has been reached, the artist will be required to extend the license by paying an additional fee. Artist is not required to pay the producer a royalty or income from the tracks, but the artist agrees that the producer shall have a 50% share of the publishing, which I'm pretty sure was the terms of REN's agreement as well. Publishing is typically 50-50 when you get these kind of beats from these type of producers. So all that's normal. But my contract also then goes on to say that if in the description the beat is stated to contain an uncleared sample, then the artist agrees that they will take steps to obtain all clearances of the sample prior to release of the track. The artist shall also take steps to clear the publishing sample. The artist shall indemnify the producer from all losses and costs arising from any claims from third parties concerning the artist's failure to take the required steps. This is what they will put in there to try to absolve themselves from stealing people's work. A lot of the times, people will put their contracts in kind of a minimalistic form up front, and then once you purchase the beat, then you get the full contract along with that purchase. But you didn't already make the purchase at that point, so you lost the money. So at that point, now it's, do you want to use the beat with these terms or not, right? But if this type of stuff was in his contract, then it makes things a little murky. But it doesn't change the fact that that producer stole the work of somebody else and then profited from it by selling it. You can't do that. And listen, you can write technically whatever the hell you want in a contract. You know what I'm saying? You could. This is you know, like those waivers that people sign so they can try to absolve themselves if you happen to die from something. Listen, you can write whatever you want and then have somebody sign it. It don't mean it holds up legally just because you typed it up. Okay? You cannot steal work and then sell it and profit from it. You just can't do it, period. That's what was done. So for me, right off the break, the breach of the contract was on KUJO's part, okay? And if you are going to steal, like, you got to let that be known. You know what I'm saying? You got to let that be known. Claiming that the beat contains a sample is different than saying the beat contains an uncleared sample, right? Because if the beat contains a sample, I'm like, all right, fine, cool. I'm assuming you cleared it because you're the producer. You made it and you're about to sell it. But if you know that you didn't clear it, then it should say beat contains an uncleared sample right off the rip. Whether that happened or not, I don't know. All right? So that's that. I think that's where the fault is in this whole contract. So for me, right off the break, we talking null and void at that point. Now, REN also breached the contract. Okay? He said so, his own admission in his video. Okay? Where did he breach? He breached with the content ID stuff. That was on when he made it public, which is publishing. That's what publishing is. Once you put something out there for public consumption, typically whether free or not, that's considered publishing. And the content ID was on, and technically that was the breach of contract. That was the only leg that KUJO technically had to stand on with that. So, again, contracts all messy now, right? But what REN comes back with, the multiple things that he actually comes back with, offering to settle this, should have been taken, in my opinion. It's just fair at that point. REN already agreed to 50-50 publishing. That seems to have been the deal right up from the jump anyway. But rightfully so, KUJO was upset because it doesn't seem like he was getting 50-50 of anything. Okay? So REN's like, cool, I'll make sure you get your 50%. I'm not worried about that. So at that point, we should be cool. But then it becomes 15% of retroactive this, a 3,000 pound payment up front, 100% ownership of this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's where things start getting a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think REN also, I saw this in his video where he says, he doesn't talk about it in the video. It was just on screen, and I happened to see it when I was reading it. He says, me even offering to knock down to 33, 33, 33 is against my own lawyer's advice. Now, this is coming from REN. He didn't explain this part, but what I took this to mean is another one of his ideas to settle this was to say, hey, look, if you don't want to absorb the hit, because he said, hey, you sold me an uncleared sample, you should absorb this hit that this Bulgarian choir or whoever it is reaching out to us, chasing this money. Yeah, you should absorb this. KUJO says no. REN says no. We're not going to. So 33 1/3 is how I took this, right? Publishing, you take 33, I take 33, and they take 33 because it's their original content that we took. I didn't know we took it, but either way, we took it. So we all just 33 this thing. And apparently that was turned down as well. So this is where it starts to get crazy. Like, How are you turning these type of things down? You know what I mean? These are steps towards resolving some of these things. And then also in that same video, Ren says he's been frustrated with his own publisher. But this is who KUJO should be trying to reach out to. Your deal is with publishing. You haven't been getting your publishing split, so reach out to the publishers about it, not Ren. Ren can't really do anything about it. But you can see at the end here, he agrees that there should be a 50-50 split, and that's typical for publishing. Now, I'm gonna also show you this for those that, again, are just kind of unfamiliar with unlimited licenses. So here's an example of an unlimited license. This one's $150 fee. It comes with the audio file. Then you can also get a track out stem file. You can see that right there. That basically is you're getting every piece of that beat in its raw form so that you can make tweaks to it, add layers to it, which Ren says he did to his beat. So he had the track out stem file. No audio tag. Audio tag is like when a producer goes boop, 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 beats, you know, or put some type of tag on the song. They remove that tag once you buy the license. Sales limit, unlimited. Paid streams limit, unlimited. That right there is what makes it an unlimited beat. But then after that, you can see publishing split. That's a separate thing. We're splitting that money 50-50. That's usually standard for a lot of these producers, unless you are getting exclusive rights, which is considerably more expensive. Which you can see right there, exclusive rights, there's a big X on it, and it's red so that you can see it. License duration for this particular beat, this is separate from the contract that I showed y'all, by the way. This is just different. 36 months duration, which means once you approach that 36 months, if you're going to keep streaming, making sales, whatever, then you got to re-up your license. And then this particular producer had a buy two, get 4 beats free, kind of under the same terms. So again, that's just an example for y'all, so y'all know what an unlimited license is. But listen, contract terms, the actual contract, I don't know exactly what they are word for word, but that's where the juice is. You know what I'm saying? But again, once dude sold the beat with a stolen sample, you kind of negate everything that comes after that, in my opinion. In my opinion, you do. And so this really should have been something that's solvable, pretty easy. Like, this is an easy fix, in my opinion. So a lot of these other things and these lies being thrown around and the chasing 100% ownership of stuff, that's where things get really, really crazy. So yeah, I think Ren offered some fair deals. I can't imagine, and he even offered to do a song with him, independent from everything, so that they can release it and then make money from that as well, piggybacking on Ren's fan base. And even that was a no. So to see how well it's doing and see how successful it is, and then try to go back and say you want 100% of this and all that, that's just wild behavior. But listen, like I said, it's just all about the contracts, man. Everything is usually explained up front. And the sneaky ones will try to squeeze in things that technically ain't even legally allowed to be in a contract, or no court would even let you put that on there, whether somebody signed it or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a business that you got to be careful with. Ren got this a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? He said he bought this beat when he was broke, and was doing so, and that's what we all did. We get these beats, we don't got no money. We using these online producers and stuff like that to do some things. Then you blow up, a song gets big, people watching it, and then they come back around and try to get you. And most of the time, legally, they can get you. But when you out here stealing copyrighted work without permission, that's a little crazy, right? I think you kind of null and void your contract when you do things like that, and you should be bearing the responsibility of that hit. And if not all of it, at least some of it. But to say no for none of it and say, oh, it's your fault that you didn't clear it. I didn't make the beat. You did, and you stole the work and then didn't tell me about it. You know, so it just becomes a dishonest process. And for somebody that's trying to make a name for themselves in the beat industry, you got an artist like Ren who's huge. You should be trying to resolve this amicably so that your name can be out there, which is exactly what you said you wanted. But instead, you're going to be known for this nonsense. People not going to want to buy your beats, you know, knowing that this is how you get down and you steal work and then don't and put it in there and don't tell nobody and stuff like that. That's nobody's going to want to work with you, bro. You know what I mean? So this should have been handled in good faith from everybody, all parties involved, and just continue with the music. But the fake stuff that comes with it, you know, to start off saying, oh my gosh, you know, it's such an honor to work with you or whatever, and love your music, it's great, can't wait to link up for the next one. And then later you say, by the way, your music sucks. What? Right? That's the indication of fake shit right there. That's the epitome. How you flip-flop like that? Either you like me or you don't. And either you liked me from the beginning or you actually hated me from the beginning and you was just faking. Like, either way, there's just lies all weaved in between this. And then the situation goes a lot deeper. The details goes a lot deeper. I'm not diving into all of that. I'm just kind of giving you a surface level kind of perspective and review kind of from my you know, experience in this whole thing. But like I said, I think Ren handled it as well as he could. The mistakes that he noticed were mistakes. He corrected them immediately, reached out, tried to solve everything, tried to resolve everything, and was shot down. And then went public. And it's still being shot down. And now he's responding with a video, and we're going to be there for that video. Because I think rightfully so at this point. So I think my man just kind of messed up his legacy if he was trying to make one as a producer. But we'll see what comes of this. Hopefully this was a little bit informative, or maybe I just appreciate my perspective from this whole thing. But we ride at dawn for Ren around here. So we're gonna show up on Thursday. My reaction will probably release on Friday. I'll see y'all next time. Havik Nation, be easy.
Yeah, they sleeping on us, bed, we wake them up. Cut my day ones off cause they was faking love. Had to change the recipe, my cake ain't baking